Happy Saturday. I am so excited because Atisa Manalo has finally captured the Miss Universe crown, the Miss Universe Philippines crown, and I'm so excited for her. But first, before we get into the review and recap of Miss Universe Philippines 2025, I'm Teresa. In case you're new here, welcome to T Stands on Pageantry, where we talk all things pageant related. If you are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified of when I go live or when I drop the next video. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back and thanks for joining. So let's get into this because literally I came home from work last night and I was like, I have to watch Miss Universe Philippines, even though I was so tired. Honestly, like when I started watching, it was just like a jolt of energy hit me, and I was like, oh, I'm awake now. Let's go. I'm excited. The show, high energy, really, really high energy. I mean, as always, staging beautiful. Oh my God, the camera angles. The camera angles, y'all, they heard me. They said the girl be on the internet talking about dragging us with them camera angles, and we gonna fix that. And they did. They did. Don't know if it's the same production team or what have you, or maybe you know what, the prelims was just a test run and they went back to the drawing board and realized, yeah, that ain't working. So they fixed it and they gave me everything. They even gave us like a shot from behind the girls where it made sense, where like some of the girls were doing turns, so we got to see them. Loved it. Loved it. So good. I love the opening number. It was very cultural, mabuhay. Like, I loved it. It was really, really nice. They added in something new this year that I didn't see before, which is like the fashion showcase. Let me look at my notes here. I thought that was interesting. So, yeah, let's really get into it. Great hosts, lots of great energy from them. So that was really exciting. And oh my gosh, wherever they were, the auditorium, whatever, it was packed. It was packed, y'all. It was packed. Like everybody was there. I was like, yes. So that was really interesting and really great to see. We got to see Miss Universe Victoria and the Continental Queens. Side note, I personally did not love Victoria's dress. I don't know. And I didn't love her dress. Yeah. And the hair, I think the hair was a little bit, for me personally. But yeah, actually, out of the Continental Queens, I loved what Miss Universe Americas was wearing. Like, I thought that, I really liked that. I thought Miss Universe Africa was, her dress was really nice as well, was very unique. And Miss Universe Europe, she looks great as well. So yeah, they all looked really, really nice. Oh yeah, and I can't forget, of course, Miss Universe Asia looked great. Her hair was styled differently. Like, was she wearing a wig? Because it was very short, and I know she has really long hair, so I was just wondering if she was wearing a wig or did she like pin it under or something. But they looked great. So it was nice to see them and that they were included in the show, so that was really great. We wasted no time in getting into the top 24. So real quick, top 24: Baguio City, Pasay, Nueva Ecija, Iligan City, Taguig, Cebu, Occidental Mindoro, Benguet, Davao, Tarlac, Laguna, Bohol, Malay Aklan, Ifugao, Montelupa, Oriental Mindoro, Isabela, Quezon Province, Manila, and then we had the peanut voting showcase winners, and that was Quirino for personality, Sultan Kudarat for swimsuit, and Sinaloa Laguna for runway. The fan vote was Lucena, and then the Bingo Plus fan favorite was Bulacan. So, of them, were there any surprises for me? Let me think about it. I feel like not too many surprises. I didn't really have Manila on the list, and Isabella I didn't really have on the list. Nor did I have Quirino or Lucena. So those would have been the biggest surprises. I mean, Bohol wasn't necessarily on my list either, nor Tarlac, but I definitely was not surprised to see them because they were kind of on my edge, right? Someone that I'm really, really sad did not make it because I felt like she was very, very consistent throughout the whole journey. That was Angela City. I don't know what happened. I didn't get to watch the interview, so I don't know if she like didn't show out in interview or what have you. But honestly, I was so disappointed when she didn't get called. I would have loved to have seen her there. So yeah, like right after they called the top 24, they had the fashion showcase. This was interesting. This was different than last time. I don't recall this being there. What did you guys think about their gowns? Not their gowns, their dresses that they wore. Comment down below. I thought they were. I like that although it was the same design, like same pattern, like you could see like I think it was flowers, like dark purple with like different color flowers on them or something. I think there was sequins if I remember correctly, but they were different styles. So some had one shoulder, spaghetti strap, you know, different necklines. I did feel like they were a bit on the modest side. Like they weren't. It was like they were fitted, but like the bodice was fitted, but then like the skirt of the dress was very, I'd say very straight and very long. Like most of them, it was past their knees, so it was definitely giving more of a modest, conservative vibe, which I thought was interesting. But let's talk about the little walks they did, because I was like, ooh, preview, let's go. So Baguette came out first. And I felt like her walk was a little bit over exaggerated with the crossover, just a little bit. But she had a good level of confidence, and I thought she brought a really flirty and a flirty persona to the stage, so I enjoyed it. Passe, I thought she nailed it. That's all I'm gonna say. Nailed it. Nueva Ecija, when I see her, to me, she always is giving elegant and grace and just classiness, you know? Elegant City brought the attitude. Like, powerful walk, well done. To Gig, slow and sultry, but yet still cutesy. Very interesting. Cebu City, great energy, great amount of confidence. Just love the presence there. Occidental Mindoro, I love that first turn she did. She had a great walk. I thought she played to the camera really well. She was very flirty in her facial expressions, so that was fun to watch. Benguet, to me, she was just okay. But I thought her poses were on point. Davao. Okay, I gotta say, I did not love this. I did not prefer this styling of hair for her. Like, I think it was very sleek and straight. I think I prefer on her more wavy or curly hairstyling. So I would have wished that she had went with that. But I love the pose, especially the last one. And the walk, it didn't quite have the same energy. Like, it wasn't hitting the way it was before. But I still thought that she did good enough, you know? Tarla, I thought she could have brought more energy to the stage. Like, I feel like she's very beautiful, but the energy was not up there. Laguna, I love her strides. She has nice long strides. Her energy was on point. Her walk was great. It was Bohol, love the walk, love the energy she brought. Malay Aklan, oh my gosh, this girl is so gorgeous. She looks like such a beauty queen on the stage there. She had great strides, overall great walk, loved her. Ifugao brought the drama with that sharp turn that she did. She was very confident. I love the transitions between her poses. They were great. The facials was on point. Montelupa, strong walk and presence. I personally have wanted a different hairstyle for me because I thought the hair was just a little bit boring. Oriental Mindoro, powerful walk with strong energy and a great turn. Love the turns. Isabella, loved her smile, loved her charisma and her presence. Quezon Province, great performance here. Loved the walk, good poses. Manila was solid. I did feel like her facials needed a little bit more work. And Carino just needed a bit more energy, you know? Sultan Kurat, very, very good. Oh my gosh, she was fierce as always. She just brought the fire, really and truly. Sinulon Laguna, she's very statuesque. Every time I see her, she had great poses and a strong walk. Lucena, I felt like her facials could have been a bit better, a bit more stronger. She had a good spin turn at the end of the runway, so that was good. Bulacan, Fluid movement, good walk. She's definitely one of the surprises for me. Not really because I mean surprises from prelim. Like when she came out in prelims, I was blown away by the swimsuit walk. It was fire. So I was expecting her to bring that same energy. So swimsuit. Let's talk about swimsuit. I did not love the swimsuits. Let's see if we can pull some of this stuff up. I personally did not love the swimsuits on these girls because I feel like the swimsuits did not do anything for these ladies. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Like they barely had any color to it. Like it's pink, right? So let's just pull them up. Let's look. Look at the color. Oh, don't you just love YouTube? Yeah, it was. I think they're like a very very light pink, but then unfortunately, how do we get to her? Oh yeah, unfortunately, I felt like, the. Let's see if we can back it up a little bit. Yeah, so the color I felt like was just too washed out. And then I think the lighting on the stage was just too harsh. It was almost like overexposure for the girls. They're like they looked washed out, like they had no coloring in them. Like you couldn't see their makeup. Like I didn't understand like why they didn't adjust the lighting. That would have been something that I would have wanted to see them do. Okay, so is this the right one? Okay. Yes. So yeah, if you see like you can see it's pink up close, but like I don't know, this just felt so overexposed for me. This is Benguet. Okay. So yeah, you can see like look at her, like you can't see the makeup. It's just very, very like overexposed in my opinion. Let's see. So for swimsuit, I thought Baguio did a good job. She had a great flirtatious walk, great facial transitions. Pasai, she brought the attitude with the opening turn, and we saw variety in facials. Nueva Ecija, I thought, great opening turn. Her walk was a little bit bouncy, and there was a little bit too much of a crossover for me personally, but I did love her over the shoulder pose. I thought that was really well done. I'm gonna see if I can get these to play, but I'm kind of confused as to how we got here. Did we already miss some of the girls? Okay, we saw this. 1 second. Okay, we're just trying to. Okay. How do we get to Iligan City already? Did we miss some? Oh, right. So they did the. Okay. Did they do a top? I'm getting confused with my notes. I think I needed to take better notes. But yeah, first swimsuit it was Baguio, Pasay, Nueva Ecija, Elegante, Gig, Cebu. Sorry, I can't read my notes. Because I'm wondering how did we get to Benguet so quickly? Anyway, so we had Elegant City. She was being very flirtatious, very playful. I love the wink that she gave to the camera. Great walk overall. To Gig, the half up, half down hairstyle. I think it was a half up, half down. It looked like a half up, half down. Or maybe it was a really high, voluminous ponytail with waves. Either way, I just wanted something different because it was giving teen pageant for me. I thought she looked good. I think she could have lengthened her strides a little bit. Let's see, she could have. Oh, I liked the way she interacted and performed like on stage with everyone, and I loved the over the shoulder pose that Tiggy gave. I'm just trying to find out why this is not lining up. There's Tigig. Okay, so we did miss some of them. So this is Nueva Ecija. So let's look at this is yeah. Oh, that's Elegant City. My bad. So Tigig, see, I'm not sure if she's doing half up, half down. It looks like half up, half down, or maybe yeah, that's half up, half down. Hairstyle, I just something different. But that was a beautiful turn. Love the way she interacted with the performer. Yeah. Love that. Very nicely done. She looked she was really having fun with it, so that was really good to see. Cebu City was really good. Loved her pose at the end of the runway. Loved her walk. That turn was well executed. The walk was great. And I love how she just looked like she was having fun and enjoying it and not taking it too serious. And I think that's part of it too. You don't want to be too like rehearsed. You want to still be, you know, in the moment. Oriental Mindoro, I feel like she needed a different hairstyle. I think it was the same one that she did from prelims. Um, I thought she did her double spin really well. That was really well executed. I just think she's stunning on stage. Look at her. She's gorgeous. She has very sexy poses. Look at that. Very sensual. Nice. Then we have Banquette. I love her strides. She has really good strides. That was a great spin. And I loved her hair. Like I think it's like really fun and bouncy and just beachy. I love that she was enjoying herself and her confidence. Look at that. Very confident. She's a turn. And then we had Davao. She did a double spin and look right here. And then the way she kind of came out of that was a little bit iffy for me. But I thought she looks incredible on stage. Again, I think I would have preferred her to have more waves in her hair. I think that suits her better personally. But I do love her energy and her poses. And I love that she looks directly at the camera. Tarlac, she had a little bit of fire in her this time around, but I still think that she kind of gives a little bit like cutesy in the face. And, like she's a beautiful smile, but I want her to kind of give me a little bit more. Yeah, she's very smiley. And I want a little bit more variety in her. But she's beautiful. She did a good job. Laguna, great stage presence. I just love watching her. She looks like a supermodel. She has an amazing walk, great body. Look at her there. She doesn't turn. Just beautiful. And there's just something about the way she like intentionally gives eye contact. You can see like her eyes are not jumping all over the place. She's like really honed in and focused. Behold, she really impressed me. She was serving face. I didn't like that she did a little chin chuck. That I don't like really that much. But she gave attitude, fierceness, but yet sweetness at the same time. I thought she could use a little bit more fluidity in her transitions between poses. But yeah, like right there, like you can see it's a little awkward. That turn was a little bit awkward there. Malay Aklan. Yes, Isabel? No. I'm doing something. What is it? You okay?
Really a fancy jet.
That's really pretty. Okay, Malay Aklan. She's really, really beautiful. Very sexy walk right out the gate. She came guns blazing. She nailed her opening turn. I love that she was connecting with the camera. Great facials and a very sensual walk and poses. And again, we have Ifugao. I do like Ifugao. She's one of my favorites. I think she is stunning. I love her smile. I love this walk. I felt like she didn't quite nail. See, she didn't quite nail that turn. She sort of fell out of it, but she caught herself, and that's great. Montelupa, girl came strutting out. Like, yes. I love her strides. The way she just extends her leg is like she was born to be on this stage. Look at her. I love this T-stance on her. She looks really good doing it. Love the open leg pose. Yep. She was a professional. Very much professional. Oriental Mindoro. I have been loving her. Love that turn. Great facials. Variety. I love it. But again, they just look so washed out on camera. I really wish there was better lighting for them. It's a little too washed out. But her turns, she brought the drama with the turns. Isabella, I felt like this was not her best performance. She did better in prelims for me personally. I'm not sure why she was like, I didn't really like the whole grabbing of the body like that. And I do feel like her shoulders are tense. Like she's tensing at the shoulders and lifting it up. Like lifting up that shoulder instead of relaxing it. Quezon Province. Okay, we have to talk about our girl Atisa because when she did that turn, look at it again. Let's look at it again. Because let me tell you something. When that girl, and again, I was not showing you anything, so you didn't see any of it. My bad, guys. 1 second. Sometimes this thing is a little bit finicky with showing background content. Okay, so here we have, all right, okay, so that's Montelupa, Oriental Mindoro, sorry, and then Isabella. Um, but let's look at Atisa. Look at this. I love that. That was perfection. I thought she just looked amazing. She was really bringing high energy. I just loved how well timed her turn was, that she was able to turn and look directly into the camera. That was perfection. And I loved her last pose there. She really brought it. Manila. Manila is someone I thought was very sexy. She had good walk, good poses, but I don't know that I would have at that when I was watching it. I didn't think that she would be moving on to the next round because I felt like her poses were a bit like not clean enough for me. Like the energy she came out on stage with, I didn't feel it. Like I was just like, she could have brought more energy, and then her walk was just not. It wasn't doing it for me. I think she just needs a little bit more practice on the walk. She's not giving that like one foot in front of the other kind of straight line walk. So I do feel like that might have held her back a little bit. And then here comes Sultan Kudarat. She was so sexy, loved it, so poised. I love her face, like she's so beautiful. I love how she goes from fierce and then to her transitions to a smile, nicely done. She's just overall a very sexy demeanor. She brings the fire, she brings the attitude, and I love it. And then right after her, Sinalan Laguna, another one that is very good at what she does. She brought the drama. Did you see how she brought that leg in and then whipped her hair forward? Look, she did it again. Very nice walk, very confident. She just looks amazing on stage. And there she is, lovely pose. And then we have Lucena. Lucena for me was not quite on the same level as everyone else. You could see she was trying to do that slow start walk. I don't feel like she quite mastered it. I do think she needs a little bit more training in her walk. But she gave it a good effort. I do like her face. She has a beautiful face. I think she just needs a little bit work on the transitions and the smile. But she worked the hair, so I love that for her. Bulacan. Okay, so with Bulacan, right, I feel like she gave a stronger performance during prelims for me personally. This was just okay. I wish that she had a different hairstyle. I'm not a big fan of the ponytail. But yeah, it was just an okay performance. You know, the I think the other girls kind of outdid her here with this one. So after this, we got into the top 12, which was the PINA Showcase winner, which was Sultan Kurat. Then we had the PINA Voting Showcase winner, which was Kirino. So then we had Pasay, Quezon Province, Baguio, Taguig, Laguna, Montelupa, Bohol, Cebu City, Iligan City, and Sinolan Laguna. Okay, so let's look at them in gown. Let's see. I'm going to fast forward it here to gown. And this is one of the benefits of like watching it after the show is completed, because then you get to like fast forward through some of the other bits. Great performances all around. Like, oh, okay, so we gotta talk about this girl. Sultan Kara up first. When I saw her, I thought Ice Princess. A good balance of fierce and regalness. I love this blue. I thought that was so beautiful. I just thought she looked gracious, breathtakingly beautiful. Look at that beautiful turn. You see that angle? That's a great camera angle. The cameraman, he earned his money. Let me tell you that. This man earned his money. Look at this. He went behind her, caught her turn. That was so beautifully done. I mean, she looked stunning, just stunning. And to me, she is naturally a very sexy woman, so she does not need a whole lot of, like, in terms of styling, you don't need to put her in too much of a sexy gown because she brings that heat, that fire. Do you see those facials? Oh my goodness. Variety is the spice of life. I love it. That was a great performance. Kirino, I love this gown on her. I thought she was very classy, soft, elegant, very feminine, very well poised. She had a beautiful gown. I love this golden white on her, but it's a tough act to follow Sultan Kudarat with that. Like, I think that's part of the problem there is that she's coming after Sultan Kudarat, who's just like was so glorious in her performance just now. Yeah, it's tough to follow that. And then we had Pasai. Pasai, I felt like struggles with the stairs. Oh, let's talk about these stairs for a second, guys. I'm gonna say that they probably did not get enough time to practice the stairs, and that's fair. Why, if they're going to require these girls to come down the stairs in their evening gowns, do they not have the performer or someone else from the team dressed in a nice suit help the ladies down the stairs? I think it's a little bit cruel to expect these ladies to go down the stairs in a gown, especially the gown that is fitted, and knowing these girls are wearing 6-inch heels. Come on, let's help them out a little bit because this is dangerous. It's dangerous. Swimsuits a little bit easier because you're a little bit more free in your legs, but in a gown, I just thought that was a little bit rough. So she had a rough time coming downstairs. You can see like she feels awkward. She looks awkward. And I think that set the tone for her performance, unfortunately. I did not love the hair. Like, I think it would have been more elegant if she had put her hair in a low bun or something, especially since she's wearing a neck piece. This gown is not my favorite. I feel like it was just okay. An okay performance. Just very... I don't know. I was not feeling that like from her in this. And she really tried. I can see that, but I wasn't feeling it. So Quezon Province, right? She surprised me in this pink gown. Pink is not a color that I would typically recommend for a Miss contestant, just because to me, I love pink. Don't get me wrong. Pink is one of my favorite colors along with purple. I just think this pink is too soft, too light for a Miss. Personally, I would leave this for a teen, right? But I still think she looked beautiful. I like that she pulled back her hair. It was giving complete different vibe from her prelims. Personally, now that I've seen this, I actually would prefer her prelims gown. I felt like that's more in alignment with Miss Universe branding. I didn't love the harsh pink, I felt it was harsh pink blush on her. I thought it was just too much pink. And I think I would have preferred if her bun was lower. I don't know why. I think it would have been better if it was lower. But I did think that she looked poised. I know that she fell. I could not believe that. Like when she fell, this was me. Oh my God, no. No, I was so shocked that she fell. But she laughed a little bit. She picked herself up and she carried herself with grace and poise. So I was grateful to see that. I thought she maintained good eye contact with the camera, especially when she was coming down the stairs. Yeah, so that's all I have to say about her. I thought, she still looked confident. You can tell she didn't let it affect her performance. I really did love this little moment here where she does a turn. She lifts up the head and she comes around. I still think her eyes, though, we were talking about this the last time I was live. Her eyes, I'm just going to transition just so you guys can see me better. Her eyes, right? Her eyes don't change. And it's not that they can't change, because I do remember when she competed last year, we did get some smizing going on there. But I just want her, when she is going into that fierce face, to give us those smoldering eyes. Like, tell me a story of the eyes. Her eyes are big, right? Big and beautiful. And so they kind of remain the same, just very wide-eyed when she's smiling or when she is fierce. And I'd love to see when she goes into more of a fierce look, that she does it in the eyes. I think that's really important. And I think that's where Sultan Kudarat and Cebu City and Sinaloan kind of outdo her in the facials, is that smoldering intensity in the eyes. So she's got to work on that a little bit, I think. But overall, I thought for someone who fell, she did a good job picking herself back up. Now let's get back into it. Let's see. After her, we had Baguio. Yep, love that last look she gave. That was really well done. And the walk was good too, don't get me wrong. I did like this dress on Baguel. I like the color. Oh, see, again, struggling with the stairs, but she took her time. You can see it's making them feel very uncomfortable that they have to go down the stairs because they're also trying to keep eye contact with the camera. When I tell you pageantry is a sport, the things they expect you to do, unparalleled. But I thought the color of this gown, beautiful. It's not a color we see very often. It's very unique. The style of this gown, it's very unique. But I feel like her facials they did not, they weren't there. It was not as strong as I would have liked it, but I thought she looked classy, she looked poised. Yeah, okay, that was better facials there when she's giving us that smirk. But there were certain points where I was like, the facials could be a bit stronger, transitions needed to be a bit tighter. To gig, I loved this gown on to gig. However, I felt like she was having difficulty in walking in it. Not just going down the stairs, but just walking in general. Like, it doesn't seem like this dress is designed for her to walk in. Maybe this is just a sit down and look pretty dress. And that's, again, word to the designers. You gotta make sure these girls can walk in it, you know? But I did like her opening pose when she was standing up there. It was given statue. I love this gown on her. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's really unique, but she can't walk in it. That's the point. But she looks stunning, and I wish she had maybe a different hairstyle. She's really, really beautiful. I think just a different hairstyle. But yeah, you can see, like, look how slow she's having to walk. Yeah, she's struggling. Laguna. I thought this white gown reminded me of a little bit of Pauline from a couple of years ago now. Yeah. I loved the cape moment that she created. Look at that. She looks like an angel. Beautiful, just stunning. Wish she had different hair. Or wish her hair was not as voluminous. Like, take it down on the front a little bit. But I kind of do wish that she'd pulled her hair back just so we got a different look, because she wore this hair for Swimsuit. So I wish that it was a bit different, a bit more elegant. But I thought she looked stunning here and just elegant and graceful. And I wish she didn't hold the cape for so long. I kind of wanted her to put it down. So again, we have another pink dress. I actually liked the color of this a bit more than Atissa's, just because it is a little bit darker than Atissa's was. She paired it with, you can see, pink heels, which I like. That was different, and it was like the perfect pink. It almost looks a little purple now that I'm looking back at it. So it's like a pink purple kind of color. I thought this was a solid performance from her. Not a color that I was expecting her to wear. And I don't know that I personally love this hairstyle for her in this dress. I felt like something was missing. I think maybe if she did a middle part instead of a side part. But as usual, she really just is elegant and graceful in her movements. So I thought she did well. And I thought she served face, and her smile was really beautiful. I mean, with her hairpin back, right? So y'all been holding out on me, because why didn't nobody tell me that she, I think, is related to Michelle? Because she ain't never looked more like Michelle than in this moment here with this hair pulled back like this. She looked like Michelle Marquez Michelle D. Marquez. Yes, she looked like this, like her. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they related? And then that's when I put together the Marquez thing. And I was like, duh. Someone could have said it though. Y'all gotta let me know. But yeah, I thought she came down. She was one of the few. Let's go back to the beginning. Kind of missed this part. I thought she was one of the few that mastered the stairs, and that is probably because her gown was not as restrictive. She's got that big slit in the back, that high slit. So that kind of gives her a bit more room to walk in. But again, this was a very unusual dress. I'm not unusual, but like just not a dress that I thought that she would come with. So it was very different, very unexpected. But she made it work. I'm not saying the dress is bad. I love the dress. I think it's beautiful, but it's just unexpected. And I think that she worked it as best she could. I think she did well with her facial expressions. So yeah. And then we had Behol. So Behol wore this very fitted, sexy, I think it's like gold or a champagne colored gown. I thought it was very, very sexy. Behol, you have been surprising me here. And I think she looks stunning. I think her facial expressions, I think, could use a little bit more work. But I thought she just looked absolutely stunning hair, just very sexy. I mean, I have just been surprised by her overall. Like she's been doing more than I thought. I didn't really have her too much on my radar, but yeah, look at that. That was really nicely done. Yeah. So Cebu. If there were one woman that I had to award best in gown, it would be to Cebu. Look at her in this gown. The way she came down the stairs, slow, sexy, sultry, like just slink down those stairs like it was nothing. She and keeping eye contact with the camera all the time. Look at her. She's wearing a very sexy gown, but her facial expressions, she's very smiley, and I think I would have wanted her to give me a little bit more fierce, like balance it out a little bit, so we get a little bit more smile, get a little bit of fierce. But this was good. This right here, that over the shoulder pose, a little smirk, a little like she's got a little secret. I love that. That was stunning. Yeah, she did a great job. She was definitely my favorite for gown. Iligan, I did not love this gown particularly. I love her hair with it though. Like I think that styling of that hair up and that nice big bun complemented the dress really well. But yeah, like I did not love this particularly. I think it's a little bit too, in my opinion, too conservative for Miss Universe. But I did love all of the sparkle. She was sparkling. But yeah, it's very conservative, and I feel like it is hindering her walk a little bit. And she kept looking up, and I didn't love that so much. So yeah, this for me was when I saw this, I kind of felt like, yeah, she's not gonna be moving forward in the next round of competition. So yeah. And then we had, oh, Miss Sinaluan Laguna. Hello. Look at her. Drops her cape, her little coat. Stands there, holds her hips, walks down. Taking her time very nicely. She is a really great hourglass shape. And naturally, to me, she is one of the more sexier contestants. For me personally, I don't think I would have chosen this gown for her. This gown is very sexy, very beautiful. It aligns with who I've seen her to be, like how with her previous styling and how I see her. But I almost feel like it's a little bit too much. Just a little bit, because we got the boobs propped up, we got the cutout here, and then another cutout there, and she already is so like fierce and sexy and sultry that I don't know that I would have given her. I don't know that she needed all of that, to be honest. Maybe if it was just the boobs and it didn't have the cutouts, then it would be fine. But the fact that it had the boobs, the cutout, the two cutouts, and yeah, like I don't know, like I think she could have gone a bit softer with that. Here. So then we went into the top six. Let's get to the top six. So okay, here we go. Getting to the top six. So top six were, as you can see, the PINA voting showcase winner was Sultan Kudarat. Then we had Sinaloa and Laguna, Montelupa, Taguig, Cebu City, and Quezon Province. No surprise to me. I feel like, yeah, it's pretty on point. So for our final Q&A, Sultan Kudat went first, and her question surrounded, young people and voting and kind of like what kind of message would you give to them. She said to be wise in their choices, pretty much, and I thought that was a good answer to start off with. Like, okay, that's a really strong answer to give. And my God, does she not look beautiful? Look at her face. Now you can see her makeup a bit more because they really zoomed in and gave us that close up. She looked incredible here, and yeah, it was a solid answer, a good place to start out, truly. Then we had Sinaloa Laguna, and she had the question of something to do with what if you were like, I think a member of government or something, what would you focus on? What would be like a project that you'd want to accomplish? And she talked about education empowerment, and that education, leads to greater opportunities. I'm just paraphrasing. I thought it was a great answer. She said, education is the power that no one can take away from you, and it's the solution to feeling more empowered. And I thought, wow, brilliant answer, Sonoan. Like, very, very strong answer. So she did really, really well with that. And then Montalupa, hers was about qualities in a leader. And she talked about integrity, being, putting the people above your own political needs. Because I think it was to do with like a political leader. So I thought she answered the question. It was a little bit repetitive. I feel like she could have put herself into that answer and made it a little bit more personal. I think that would have given her more of an edge. To gigs was about women in politics, being a minority, and how would you encourage women in politics. And so she talked about how women deserve a seat at the table, that women are on par with men, and women are leaders and a force in the universe. So again, everyone I think kind of did really well with their answers. There was no one that I was kind of So yeah, like I thought that was a solid answer, but it wasn't. If we had to compare to Sultan Kurat, Sinaloa, Laguna, I was like, it was just okay in comparison to those. Cebu City, hers was about being a beauty queen and how you have to be a public figure, and how do you maintain your authenticity amidst the expectations of the public. And she talked about making sure that she's always putting the best version of herself out there and making sure that it's something that is gonna help people. And I did feel that she could have put a little bit more personal messaging behind that, given an example of, like how she does it. I mean, I guess she's saying that, she makes sure she puts her best version, but how do you put your best version out there? Like, it was good, but I think I would want a little bit more deep dive into that. Quezon Province. So Quezon Province, her question was, tell us an example of when you led by example. And I mean, listen, she was smart. I thought this was a smart answer. This is where I would have gone exactly. She said that she just fell on stage, and she makes sure that whenever in life she falls down, she gets right back up and comes back stronger. And I was like, I see why you won, Atisa, right there with that answer. I see why you won, because that was smart. Not everyone can fall on stage and get back up and get over it. Some people tend to dwell on their mistakes, their mishaps, and she did not, and she used it in her answer. She also made it a bit more heartfelt by talking about her grandma and how this is a dream that they both had, their shared dream. And I think that really pulled on people's heartstrings. And so I see why the judges were enamored with her, and ultimately gave her the crown. So after watching that, I didn't realize that they weren't going to call out the runners up or give out the titles. Well, I knew they weren't going to give out the titles because they're not really allowed to, but the runners up. If I had to structure them, I would have said, let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fifth runner up, I would have said Taguig. Fourth, Cebu. Third, Sultan Kurat. Second, Montalupa. First, Sinoan. And winner, I would have put at Quezon Province. But it went like this. Second runner-up, Sinoan Laguna. First runner-up, Montalupa. Taguig was Miss Supra. Cebu was Miss Eco. Sultan Kudarat went... No, why do I have 2 Ecos? No, something's wrong there. One of them is because it's Supranational, Eco, and Cosmo. I think Sultan Kurat is Miss Cosmo. Sorry, by that time it was really late when I was writing this down. So that is how it all panned out. I wish that we could have gotten to see at least a second and first runner-up being called. I'm happy for everyone. Yay. They all did a really amazing job. I just saw that what's her name, Montalupa Teresita, said that this is it for her. She is no longer competing in pageants, and I guess because she is a mom, and I guess maybe she was talking about how she spent so much time, putting so much time into preparing for the competition, that she sacrificed a lot of her family time, and she's looking forward to getting back to her family time, and that this was like her last hurrah, if you will, her swan song as well. So sad to see her go, but I don't know. With Miss Universe not having an age limit, maybe she will come back at some point. So yeah. Keisha said, "Hey, gorgeous. Yes, what a Saturday treat. I see our queen is off to India. How are we feeling?" Okay, so yeah, she is off to India. I'm very excited for her. She is actually in transit now. Um, Let me see. I get updates. I think she's in transit now from let me know when you're yeah, she's in London, and heading from London to India. So very excited for her. I know she's gonna do a good job. Um, and I can't wait to see the competition begin and get to see her compete. I know there's something that she's wanted for a really long time, so I'm very excited for her and I can't wait. So, yes. But yeah, that wraps up our coverage of Miss Universe Philippines 2025. Um, yeah, it was fun. It always is. Philippines always brings it. And I'm looking forward to seeing Atisa compete in Thailand. I do think that she's going to have a few things to work on, namely those facials. Let's get that going. Bring a little bit more sexiness, because that gown, that pink, see, here's how I would have balanced it. If you want to wear a pink gown, especially a light pink gown, that's not a color for a miss, in my opinion. I would have made the gown a bit more sexy, a bit more, just something. Give me a bit more sexiness. Maybe it's an open back. Maybe it's a high slit. Maybe it's a deeper V. Something. Because to me, Miss Universe is vavavoom. It's a little bit more vavavoom. And that gown, to me, again, was giving Miss World type vibes. It's a little bit too soft and demure princess. And I just don't see that from Miss Universe. So hoping that in their preparation that they will consider that, and yes, we want Atisa to feel like herself, but maybe just a little bit more elements of Baba Boom, you know? So let's see how they do with that. But it's been fun. Um, I hope to see some of those girls recompete. Cebu City girl, you finna have to come back, because let me tell you, that gown performance, perfect score. I just was like, ooh, the way she came down the stairs, it was so slow. So she practiced that. Like she said, I'm gonna practice for everything just in case they throw us the stairs. And she did. She did the darn thing. She did good. Did really good. I'm looking forward to seeing the other queens compete. So that should be exciting. So yeah, and Miss Supranational has begun. Basically, they've got their super chats out. I'm actually gonna start watching those and catching up, because I actually have not watched them as yet. So I'm gonna start watching them and just kind of catching up and try to do some coverage around those as well. But yep, that brings me to the end. If you guys have nothing to contribute at this time, but if you watch this and you have questions, comments, things you want to share, after watching the gown performance and then watching the question and answer, who did you think was going to walk away with it? Did you think it was going to be Atisa? Did you think it was going to be somebody else? I will tell you that Atisa had the whole auditorium cheering for her. Unreal. Every time she stepped out on stage, they were like, "We are here for the crowning of Atisa." Like, I'm just like, we get it. You love her. Like, we love her too over here. I remember last year, I think it was last year she competed. She was high up on my list. I think I had her winning almost every challenge that they did. I was like, the girl can do no wrong. She was on fire last year. But the performance on the stage, I don't think was quite it. I feel like Atisa definitely did better in swim than she did in gown. So she might need to work on that gown performance. But I think what will help um, is that styling, is advancing that styling. And I think these are the ways you be strategic. If you know you have someone who, yeah, they're kind of like not, gown is not their strongest, you try to manipulate things a little bit with the styling and such. I mean, yes, practice and see if she can improve on some of those things, but the styling will definitely help to enhance the overall presence and the overall vibe on stage. So I think um, Thailand, Miss Universe this year is going to be fierce, very fierce. Let's see. So she's gonna really have to like bring that intensity. So I'm excited to see her at Miss Universe and see how she does. Curious to see what the styling will be. So I'll be keeping an eye on her for sure. Anyways, it's Saturday. One of our carnivals is happening today, so I'm just gonna probably head out there in a little bit with my daughter. So yeah, until next time, have a great week, guys. Bye.